gonna learn today. What's up, everybody? It's Joseph R. Wheeler III, the artist, founder, the president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Let's get it tight up in here. If you already know the face and you already know you in the place to be, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you ain't already, because some of y'all be coming back daily and ain't even paid your bill. Got a tab out of this world. Y'all got a tab so long, man, if you had to pay it, you'd be bankrupt. Some of y'all would be bankrupt. You got a viewing tab. Like, that means you have been on here more times than you can even count, looking and watching and enjoying. You might like something every now and then, put a thumbs up on something, but you ain't subscribed. Are you? That's foul. You're living foul, okay? Don't be that person. Don't be living foul, y'all. Support what you like. Support what you love. Support those who put a smile on your face, give you good energy, do something progressive to think about, do, consider, whatever. That's what we do. We give you that art life. We give you that best creative perspective on a lot of things that some of y'all may not have thought of, may have thought of, but never thought of it the way we gonna think of it. And just giving you some more insight, man. Just sharing experiences, you know. Like this past weekend, Labor Day was off the chain. I keep promoting it because it's gonna be the #1 videos all the way into the new year. We got that Dragon Con. There's 2 videos for you, and then we got another. We got Deuce, y'all. We got 2 videos for you per event. Per event, we got Dragon Con, and I got coverage of House in the Park, the soulful, deep, real house music festival here in Atlanta, Georgia, that brings everybody out, every demographic, every community. It's very, very soulful, very black, but everybody be out there, white, Latin, Asian, man, we party together, man. You know what I'm saying? Every orientation, every look, every age. I mean, that really blew me away this year when they did an announcement, and the crowd cracked me up. Because I didn't realize, I knew that it was mostly a lot of older heads, you know, my age and even older, because I'm about to enter the 50s. I'm about to go into them 5-0s. But there's plenty of folk in their 50s, 60s. I'd say 50s, 60s, just leave it to that. But there's even a few little scattered 70s, maybe even 80s. I saw them and I said, I'll be damned, look at grandma out here getting it on the floor, dancing, man. I love it. There was one gentleman, man, he could barely turn around. He could barely do a 2-step, but he was standing. He was doing it. He didn't need no cane. That man was on the dance floor. Didn't even have a hat on in that hot heat. He was just out there. Like, I said, well. And he's in the video. If you notice who I'm talking about, you're going to laugh because you're going to know exactly who I was talking about. It's very obvious, the one. He stands out big time in the video, but you got to watch the content to see. You got to watch. That's the main thing. We need watch time hours. That's what we need more than anything right now. I keep telling y'all all the time, man. We would be over the mountain, you know, so to speak, of monetization, and be able to do so much more, give y'all so much more daily, weekly, regularly, more trips, more interviews, more insightful opportunities about things that y'all don't even know exist that we can let you know about. But we can't do it if we don't have the research. If we don't have the finances to keep life balanced so we can create. So you gotta get that BS off your back, man. This money game in America, that is such a game, man. You're just feeding somebody else's dreams of empty ambition and diabolical tyranny, you know, for the most part, at the top, while the rest of us, man, you surviving, you might have really positive, progressive dreams and beautiful things you want to share with the world. And you've done it here and there, like if you're anything like my life, but then you get these, you know, roadblocks every now and then. You got to get over them humps just to get back to the process of creativity, you know? And people don't even realize that's the most important thing we're all here to do. I said all. People try to act like, you know, it's just artists. No. You have a right brain and a left brain. You might be leaning more to one side of the brain than the other, more technical than artistic, but that don't mean you ain't an artist in any way. Everybody's got a creative side of their brain. It's whether you use it or not. It's whether you respect it or not. Some technical people tell themselves this lie that they don't have to respect the arts. And they say stupid stuff like, I don't have an artistic bone in my body. I hate to hear people say that when I tell them I'm an artist. I'm like, just please get away from me. It used to be cute when I was a kid. Then you grow up and realize how detrimental that is for people to think that way. It's actually detrimental to themselves and to society. That part, if you're saying stuff like that, that literally blocks you from desiring to go out into the rest of nature. You know, I say rest because you understand you are a mammal, right? Yes, we are animals. We are, yes, human beings. mammals, sapiens, right? You know, go out into the rest of nature. Bind with that daily. Ain't no, there's never, it's not no, I might go outside. No, you have to go outside if you can. And if you got to wait for somebody to wheel you outside or whatever the case may be, no jokes in it. I'm saying for people who might have handicaps, I'm saying just make sure you get outside. It's so important, people. So important. So important. You know, I love sci-fi, I love fantasy and all that, but guess what? For the most part, there are some real ones in metaphorical speaking, and some people who, you know, actually try to do certain activities, whatever, but vampires aren't real people. But some people literally want to live that life, sitting up in a house all day, no sun. You crazy? Man, please. That's not, no. You can't, you will not survive. You got to get outside. It's not even, that's why I'm happily always sharing with y'all outdoor recreation and things that happen outside, and why we have that segment of ONYXCON, that part of the gospel, so to speak, the elements, where I say ONYXCON, outdoors, worldwide. And sometimes I second guess myself knowing how people think about the word outdoors, because they've been trained into all these Americanized categories of how to look at stuff. And it is, I mean, it's not only American, but it is mostly, quite frankly, it is. Because in some places in the world, that psychology doesn't even exist. Like, to make people think, you know, going into the rest of nature is this privileged act that, oh man, so you got out into nature. They look at you like, hell you talking about? Every day I'm in, that's life. If I'm alive, I was in nature. What do you mean? Like, it don't even make sense. It don't even compute. It's the silliest thing, because they don't have that separation. They don't have that, I'm being sold how I got to do this, you know. You got to over-equip yourself with everything. Now, mind you, I'm one who's big on having equipment for the right activities, but I'm saying some things, you know, because everything's so money-based, you know, like some people won't even take a hike because they got to go get the most expensive boot or whatever before they go, instead of getting something that will last you, that's efficient and still affordable. You know, and go ahead and take that damn hike. They'll make every excuse for why they can't do it yet. You know, they gotta have the Eddie Bauer this, the Columbia that, the whatever. You ain't gotta have none of that. I'm not saying nothing's wrong with any of those brands. I've had some of those things, but I don't like, oh, I have to have. If I ain't got this, if I don't get, I can't even start. Are you crazy? You know? I was a house in the park, and I was dancing in my, it was the third, maybe fourth time I've worn those. Love these shoes, some Avias, or Avia. I've never really known exactly how you pronounce it since the 80s when they first came out, and I remember that. But AVIA. And some goofies who think they are style conscious people, simply because of price, might laugh and say, oh man, it's them cheap things. What do you mean? Cheap what? Let me tell you, them are some of the most comfortable, and yes, they are affordable. But cheap, to me, it only applies if something is not quality. If it's not quality, yeah, that's cheap. You know, you buy it, next week it done unraveled, strings coming out, the soles coming loose, glue is, that's cheap. That's cheap. Mm-hmm. And I've had items that were supposed to not be cheap because they had such and such's name on them and this name and that shit fell apart in a day. So don't tell me about no damn labels and brands. I don't give a shit. Yeah. No, just wasted money. All that matters is quality is quality. And I'm saying, I was dancing in them shoes, I hiked in them shoes, I walked in them shoes. They comfortable as hell. They $30 shoes. This ain't no ad for them either. They ain't put me. I wish I did have a sponsor. Y'all gonna know when I have official sponsors, by the way. I always mention when I mention names of companies, no official sponsor. I want y'all to know that. I'm not trying to promote. I'm speaking from a personal perspective on why I like it. You know what I mean? Because I know from my experience, a lot of people will pass right by those shoes, knowing they like them, knowing they stylish. I mean, them things look actually, they look kind of cool. Man, the minute I saw these, there's a whole series of them. There's like 3 of them that came out this year. All of them fly as hell. I got 2 of them. I got to get this last pair and I'm good. I would have had a whole collection of those famous Avias that if you know, you know. that are on sale up in Wally World, you know what I'm saying? Again, not trying to shout out no companies that already got their money. I'm just giving, notification for people who appreciate quality and affordable stuff. Because prices is going up. And I keep saying, I don't know about you, but the older I get, the flyer I want to be. Because there's a lot of times in life I've had cool stuff all along in terms of getting dressed and everything, but I was never trendy. Never really, never. I may have purchased some things that were trendy at the time because I actually liked it, not because it was a trend. Because I saw it, and I said, "Now that is fly." See, it ain't gonna be because everybody else saying it's fly. If I don't say it's fly too, when I first look at it, it'll never be a part of my life. I could care less. But if it's something that I'm like, man, those are actually dope. And then, like I said, with a shoe, it's all about the quality. If I try it on, it don't just look good, man. This thing feel good too. Oh yeah, it's a done deal. It's just a matter of time. I will eventually get it, but I'm not gonna get it until the price is right. And the price ain't right where it ain't meant for my life. I guess I'll see you next lifetime. What'd you say, Badu say? I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Ain't meant for this one. There's too many other things I'd rather do. I can't justify. The closer I get to my birthday, I was looking, because I'm getting real anxious, wishing I still had the money to take an international trip. Whew, you don't understand how bad I want to do that. That was my plan. And I've talked to y'all about that. I was telling y'all, I was promoting it. I was trying to raise money for it. I was saying, yo, I'm trying to get to Brazil, y'all. Kick in. Let's see who the real supporters are. Let's see who got the deep pockets that really be watching and loves the content. Hit me. I'm going to Brazil. If y'all can help me make it happen, I'm putting in my part, y'all putting y'all part. I'm dedicated to all the real people who got businesses. Y'all want to get shouted out. Y'all seen how I do that. If you watch the House in the Park or the DragonCon, that whole weekend was sponsored by everybody I mentioned in that little segment where I shout out sponsors. That's why that content happened. That's why I had the gas. That's why I had the, did I have to worry about parking? I didn't have to worry about parking, but gas definitely. And the cost of getting in for House in the Park. I was lucky on Dragon. I had a connect for Dragon, so it was no problem. I tell y'all all the time, put respect first. Sometimes you ain't gotta be worrying about that damn money. Respect gonna pay for what money don't. I promise you it will. And it'll get you the better too. I'm talking about I had to pay. If it wasn't for the lines at DragonCon, I could have went anywhere I wanted to. I had I'm talking about full. I could go anywhere. But when I got to some of them lines, I said, I guess I'll see you next lifetime. Because I wasn't about to waste 2 hours standing in a damn line. Not me. And you'll see that in the video too. It's funny. In that same video where I got in that where I was walking beside the line showing how long it was, toward the end, I got this really good clip that has paid off for me. You gotta get them moments when they happen. This is for all my YouTubers. Anybody who does this, this is where it kicks in. I was walking and I see all this, look like a bunch of big dudes. I said, something's going on. Who is this all together here? I said, oh, that's bodyguards. Who's it? So the dude they guarding is shorter than all of them. So I started seeing the top of his head and I said, I'll be damned. That's freaking Speed. I Show Speed, the famous streamer, young black kid, 20 years old, millionaire, multi-millionaire. This boy, 500 million. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm sorry. I went too far with 500. Excuse me. Maybe 100, but 50 million. That's what I meant to say. I was thinking the 5 in my head and seeing the 0 and expanded it. Always go big, y'all. Always go big. I'm sure he would love that. Like, yeah, that's right. I am going to be 500 million. Yeah, I know. He's so over the top. But he was passing by with his entourage and his camera crew and everything. And I just got him as he was going by. I said, hey, Speed. And then when his bodyguard folk kind of laughed when I said it, like, man, everybody know you, man. And I was like, yeah. Hard not to, because you put your face out there real good. And then when you're a friend of the algorithm and folk can sponsor and do all whatnot, hey man, they don't mind. They're gonna make sure you get seen. It's gonna push you out. It's gonna push you out because it's all for the win-win. So anyway, I got that moment in that video, that little short. I turned it into a short. It done hit 1 point. I forget the exact other number. Maybe 1.8. I think it's close to 2,000. And I haven't had a short hit that in a minute. I've had a lot of them hit over 1,000.